Hello gamers, this is Brian for The Peerless Gamer. We're about to start episode 6, where our characters are on the Wild Deliverance leaving Neoma Station. If you haven't caught up, I would suggest checking out episodes 1 through 5, where we set up the world, set up the characters, who they are, and start our adventure. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. What I'll try to do from now on is try to list out 3 or 4 truths that we've learned in the last episode that will continue to help build our world. Like in the last episode, if you haven't watched it yet or you haven't gotten there yet, and you plan on doing so, which I would love to have you do so, we found out that there was a recent strike on Neoma Station that has been resolved, and transportation and goods are moving through Neoma Station again. We found out that the captain is a very enigmatic figure. We don't know, who he is or who they are. They tend to just let our NPCs and Slick and James do their thing, and very hands-off. And James is very close to buying the deliverance from the captain, with the idea of opening his own trading operation. And the box inside of the cargo hold of the Wild Deliverance is taking up the entirety of the cargo hold, and it's very large, and it's a single box for the station that we're heading towards. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. I recorded this a few days ago, so just keep that in mind, and would love to hear feedback, comments, concerns, questions, and like and subscribe on our YouTube channel here, so you can get notifications of when I actually post content, and tell your friends. So appreciate it. Without further ado, here we go. Start a journey. So I'm going to make a discovery. Let me see. Where's the asset cards? So the asset cards tell us those are not what I wanted. All right, so we're going to set a course. So this is the point in the game where we're going to set a course. We don't have to explore a waypoint, or one of the other ones is undertake an expedition, because we're not trailblazing a route. We are going to follow a known route. There is no the path to Neoma Station is quite well established, and so we are going to burn for a couple days in faster than light, and then so it's at this point, according to Starforged, we're going to set a course. And so the trip from Neoma Station to Neoma is well charted, at least for traders. We have the navigational guides. We know of any kind of nebula or current space weather for those of you. So we're going to go ahead and take our first roll. So I'm going to take our 2d10 and a die 6, and we're going to roll. So all right, so we have, and we're going to use our piloting skill, which we're going to roll plus supply. All right, so we have a full supply, so we're fully supplied, so +5. And so 6 plus 5 is 11. So we have a 4 and a 5. So we've got a strong hit. On a strong hit, you'll reach your destination, and the situation there favors you. Take +1 momentum. All right, so we're going to go and we're going to add 1 to our momentum, which right now is at a +2. So we're going to go up to +3. So +3 on our momentum. And we're not going to have any major issues getting there. The burn is, happens as per normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary, even with pirates and piracy in the area, which was something that was brought up in our bulletins. Didn't encounter anything. So let's describe Neoma Station. Neoma Station is no different than most research stations that you've seen. They all kind of follow the same patterns and in how things are constructed. There's a central pillar or cylindrical area that houses offices and research labs and it rotates to create artificial gravity instead of gravity generators, which could hamper certain scientific experiments. And there's plenty of gravity to be had in this system. There's also several habitat rings. And for the size of this station, there's only about 300 people on this, and it could easily handle 5 to 6 times that. So we ended our FTL a lot sooner than normal because the gravitational effects of the area around the station is quite severe. And as we end our jump or travel, the only thing that fills our screen is this. And James never gets tired of seeing this. It's finality incarnate. It is what is, it's the end of all things. That central ring of photons is just outside the event horizon of a black hole, several thousand solar masses. Can't even see Neoma Station right now. The burn to Neoma Station is at least another day. But by the time we get there, this will be everything that you see. There is no different view to see other than complete blackness of space. Neoma Station is in a very stable orbit, 2x the distance needed to create a stable orbit. They do not want to have to suffer any kind of issues like time dilation or what have you. So they do everything at a very safe distance. And this is the first time humanity has had a chance to view a black hole in scientific realms. So this has been like 20 years of work on the black hole, trying to understand it and discern it. And up until this point on old Earth, it had just been the, fuzzy images of circles of the photon ring that you see in the middle. But this is science on a completely different scale, on the quantum scale. This station only has about 300 to 400 people on a normal rotational cycle, and people rotate in and out because projects end, people come. People don't live here. This is not a safe place to live. This is definitely off the beaten path, but its scientific contributions are immeasurable. So we arrive at Neoma Station. James begins docking procedures. Again, the AI could handle all of this, but it is not in James's nature to do that. Docking on Neoma Station is fairly routine. There's, go through all of the necessary procedures and processes to land. The airlock opens up. cargo hold or the dock where everybody is located is very busy. Would I have an understanding of that? I've been here before, so ideally, what I'd love to understand is there anything out of the ordinary happening? Is there anything that cuts makes me wonder if there's anything going on? And what we'll ask here is we're going to ask the Oracle. And it says, when you seek to resolve questions, discover details, reveal locations, determine how many other characters respond or trigger encounters or events you may. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll here. So I'm going to roll 2 die, 10, so D100. And I would assume that James has been to Neoma Station more than once. He would, I would say, have a fairly good idea if there's something going on. It's a big station with 300 people on it, so it's fairly expansive. And the idea would be, it feels like that given his ability to look around, things might be okay, depending on he might be able to notice if there's anything amiss. So I'm going to say it's likely, so 75 or less on the table as to whether or not this is a yes roll. An 89. Wow. Okay. Well, so doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary. It seems like it's a fairly normal day. There isn't anything weird going on that he can see in the docking area where the cargo is unloaded. One of the longshoremen comes out and James hands him the manifest. He takes a look at it with his clipboard and he's like, okay, this is going to the research lab. And would I find that interesting? So I'm going to say 50-50 on that. A lot of, as I've mentioned, I don't know exactly what's in the cargo. We just kind of leave it up to the captain to understand. So another 80. All right, so that's not out of the ordinary for us. James and Slick see equipment coming to unpack. Dockmaster says this is gonna take a few hours. So if you want to just head up to the lounge, whatever that's called. Let's go see. Using the science fiction codec list, let's look for a tavern name or a waiting area. You know what? Let's retcon that a little bit. Dockmaster says, it's going to take a few hours. If you'd like to wait, that's fine. I don't know how your schedule is. If you need to head back to Helia Station, or if you just want to stick around. James, I think James has been on Helia Station for the past few weeks, so the last thing he wants to do is immediately head back to Helia Station. So he's going to, him and Slick are going to go check out some of the, entertainment, what amounts for entertainment here on Neoma. So the dockmaster, the dockmaster may suggest a place, or the local AI interface, on the wall of "You are here" may be able to shine a light on things that are in the area. So I think James and Slick are gonna go check out using the local help to see what is available. So let's go and see what we can find. So just to keep the story going, we're going to say that there is a bar. We're going to call it, maybe there's a lounge called the Silent Hive, and maybe it was built with the idea that it's going to be a marketplace, or it's going to be like a hub. Everybody comes to commune, talk and commune. And so it's a research station. So, you see a lot of, You see some people who obviously are, hardworking, might be scientists, might be researchers. Everybody's in kind of jumpsuits and everything, kind of like what you would see with the military. Very comfortable, kind of overalls kind of thing, very utilitarian. Everybody has different colors based on what they do. So, green might be the dock people or cargo people. You might see blue for the medical folks. You might see red for, sanitation. You might, different colors denote different people. So, everybody, seems to be talking and chatting amicably. There's a bar. You see an automated bartender who is handling, various requests from people for drinks of some kind, some alcoholic, some fizzy. It runs the gamut. Obviously, this place is supplied by whatever ships can come in. So maybe they haven't had any ships coming in from Helios Station or elsewhere in the past few days. So maybe the bar isn't as well stocked as it could be. There's several levels of the bar that appear to be empty, or several of the bottles appear to be fairly low. And so you and Slick, James and Slick, take a seat at one of the tables. Tables are clean. You see one of the automated helper bots walking around or wheeling around trying to clean tables and busts and grab glasses and trays and things. Looks like they have a limited menu for meals as well if you don't want to go down to the chow hall. And so is there anybody interesting here? I'm going to say that it is most likely there's going to be somebody. There's always something interesting going on. Do I overhear any interesting conversations? So we're going to say that that's 50-50. Okay, it's 13. So yes, I hear some interesting conversations. You see two people in. We're going to use Roy G. Biv, right? So, all right. So there's 7 colors. So if you use Roy G. Biv in terms of colors of jumpsuits that people have, I'm going to roll a die 8, and I'm going to use that. If it's an 8, then I'll just pick a color. Okay, 1. So R. So red. You hear somebody from, a couple people with red jumpsuits on from sanitation talking about the fact that things haven't been working. We needed extra parts. There's discussions with other folks. Let me see what we got here. Let's see. Let's pick another one. 6. ROYGBI. So the indigo folks. So not completely blue, not completely purple. And they are probably, we'll call those the, research scientists. And they're a couple tables away. And they are discussing, they have their tablets in front of them and they're all typing and everything. And one of them says that, okay, looks like we're right on track for deployment of the new sensor array. Those are the couple things we hear while we're waiting for James and Slick to get their drinks. They're the indigo colored scientists or project people have, made vague mentions of deadlines and timelines and needed material that is missing. And one of them mentions that, we were supposed to get a shipment in today from one of the ships from Helios Station. And do I make that connection? Assuming, let's say, 75 or lower, we rolled a 10. So yes, we recognize that, hey, that could be the thing that they needed. James, let's go see how gregarious James might be here. Look on our character sheet. James has he's a fairly intelligent person. He's got a 2 on his wits. So Maybe James isn't, one to gossip, but he might say, hey, I overheard you saying that you were looking for a package from Helios Station for research. We just came in from Helios Station, and we have a package that the dockmaster said was coming in and going to one of the research labs. How did the scientists react to that? Did they react positively or negatively? I'm going to say it's a 50-50. So anything lower than 50 would be a yes. Okay, so they don't react. They say, well, appreciate the heads up. There's a lot of research labs on Helios or on Neoma, so potentially, it could be ours. It couldn't be. We'll just keep an eye out. But thanks for the notification. Both of you are enjoying your drinks, and everything seems to be fine. So I want to move the story along a little bit. So what I'm going to do is find the right sheet that will help me do that, and what right activity that I can use to make that happen. So adventure moves. So I'm going to gather information. So it's not boring inside the bar here. There's just not a lot going on. I mean, with 300 people, maybe there is something else to do here. So we're gonna gather some information. Maybe in the last couple of days, some interesting news stories have happened. Maybe we should check our email because while we were underway, we couldn't get necessary communications. I want to do a gather information. So I'm going to check email, check messages. Maybe there's one from the captain. Maybe we'll be able to see what's going on. Roll wits. So 2 plus my dice. I have a 2 and an 8. So I've got a weak hit. So on a weak hit, it provides insight but complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. All right, so we're up to +4 for our momentum right now. And so we read the emails, and there's one that was from the captain. We're sitting here, and he basically says that, hey guys, thanks for, making the trip to Helios from Team Neoma. This should be a very profitable mission for everybody involved. Captain's no stranger. He knows that James is got designs on the ship and what to do. So he gives you a little wink face there in your email. Hey, this is going to be very profitable for everybody. Wink, that kind of thing. He said, while you're there, could you go say hey to a buddy of mine, one of the doctors researching the black hole. The name of the doctor is, let's go look at the name generator. So the name is Dr. Achet Manand. And just tell her the captain says hey. And, that you know me. And, let's ask the question, is this something that the captain has asked us to do before? To say hello to people, to, go reach out to folks that they know. So I'm going to say we've been working with the captain for a while, and I would say it's not out of the ordinary, but it's not always, I'm going to say it's unlikely, so it'll be a low number. Apparently no. This is, so James and Slick sit at the recreational area, enjoying their alcoholic beverages, their adult beverages, well earned after several days of transiting, trying to alleviate the boredom. They play a few board games. They get involved with a local discussion about, spaceball teams and what's been going on and how are the Tory Hanzos being, beating the Wind City Dragons, that kind of thing. Starting to go on a couple hours, and James and Slick, head back towards the ship. They don't have to pay for a room because they have a ship. It's not the best accommodations, but if you're trying to pinch pennies, you do what you can to save money. And so, Slick says that, she knows somebody here she wanted to go say hey to. And James remembers several hours ago that, he was supposed to look up a friend of the captain's. So he goes to the local directory in, one of the hallways and punches up the name Achet Manand, and nothing comes up. Finds that interesting. And what I'd like to do at this point is to roll. So I'm going to roll a gather information, which again I have to roll for wits. I have 2 on my wits, so I have 2 wits. So it's a 4 and I got a 6 and an 8, so it's another weak hit. So as we said, we didn't find anything in the official record that exists of having a manifest. So maybe the person left, a couple weeks ago or something. So James tries to find an information booth, somebody with access to information. Maybe there's an ombudsman, or maybe there's a welcome to the station office for new researchers or something. Somebody that can help us out with our query, because the captain wants to know, see how their friend is doing. So go in. Excuse me, hello, my name's James. I'm trying to find a friend of a friend. Person, low-level functionary, sitting at a help desk, asks, did you do a search for the person on, to see if they're here? James says that he did, and that there is no record of that person here. Person, I don't know how they would react. Let me see. If I was somebody at a help desk, I mean, ideally, you'd love to think that they're happy about it, but I imagine they get a lot of requests a day, so it may not be something they're happy doing. But you see them, hold on a second. So they turn to their computer, they type, okay, what's the name? And James says, let me see. He pulls up his pad here, and he's looking at it. He's like, Achet Manand, and person goes to type that in, and they say there's nobody here by that name. And James is like, yes, I know the official record says that I went and did a people search too, and I didn't find anything. And the person behind the desk, I want James to do a note. Is there some what's a notice roll? Let me see. What's a notice roll? What I'd like to do is to find out if James can notice anything from the person. It says when you assess a situation, make preparations, or attempt to gain leverage, envision your action and roll. Well, there's no reason for us to have deception. We're not using expertise. Observation. Okay, so I want to secure an advantage, and I'm going to roll with observation. So I'm going to roll plus wits again. So on a hit, we will succeed. On a strong hit, take both. On a weak hit, choose one. Okay. We take +2 momentum. We're going to add 1 to our next move, not a progress move. And on a miss, you fail or your assumptions betray you and you pay the price. Okay, so we're going to roll. Okay, so we rolled I think tie goes to the winner, so it's a strong hit. So we get +2 momentum, so we're up to 6 on our momentum now. And we get a +1 for our next move. So James notices that the person looking at him then looks back at the screen and their eyes get really wide. And James says, I'm sorry, is there something wrong? Is the person no longer on the ship or on the station? And the function, the help desk person says, tries to compose themselves. You can see them attempting to compose themselves, and says, "No, if you could just stay here for a second, I will go talk to my manager." You see the person get up, and James watches them walk back to, there's a row of cubicles behind where the person sat. There's some people sitting there, a couple, 3, 4 people doing various things in an office-like environment. The person walks back, knocks on the door, sticks their head in, and you see the person look over their shoulder and then say something else to somebody in the back room. You can't see who it is. And something doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like, if this feels odd, it feels off. So James waits for the person to come back, and so I'm envisioning the person who was helping James goes into the office and the door shuts. And we wait. And it's been a minute, 2 minutes. I want to, there's a door behind me, and there's a glass door, glass window, so you can look out into the hallway. There's not a lot of walls here, a lot of bulkheads for the the station, whatever opportunity they have to be able to see something that isn't inside a nondescript square room, they'll do it. So after a few moments, we see some people in white uniforms, and they appear to be security. And they're standing outside the door. So why would they be standing outside the door? The door opens. Security guard comes in, says, "Hello, sir. Your name is," and James says, "My name's James Atwell. I'm first mate on the Deliverance. So we just came in today. I'm looking for a friend of mine, for a friend." And just about that time, the door in the back of the room opens, and 2 people come out. The original person that was helping you, plus a heavy-set man, middle-aged, is balding, and they both look apprehensive. And the security guard has now been joined by at least 2 more people. Now, with James's background in technology, sorry, small retcon there. James Atwood, not James Atwell. He worked in technology. He has no reason to distrust anyone. So James says, I'm sorry if there's been a mistake or something. Well, just let my boss know that Dr. Manand isn't here. And James goes to leave by trying to walk around security person, and the security person moves to block James's way. The security person says, and you can see on the name tag on the person, the name Atter, A-T-T-E-R, Atter. I'm going to write that down for later. Security guard Atter. And security guard Atter says, I think you're going to have to come with us. And James is gobsmacked, doesn't know what's going on. This shouldn't be happening. It was an innocent request, so he's like, why do I need to come with you? Is there something wrong? And the security guard is stating, if you could just come with us and answer a few questions, we'll, I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this. James is just, I think in life he's just trying to keep a low profile. So he's not a fan of this. He didn't expect it. And I think he's going to go only because, he's a normal law-abiding citizen. He doesn't have any reason. He hasn't done anything wrong. So, he asked that question, what have I done wrong? Is there something that we need to talk about? And the security guard Adter's like, if you could just come with us, well, I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this. So I don't think James has any reason to not go with. He doesn't carry a weapon per se. Nobody's actually physically assaulted him. And, the security guard's not brandishing any weapons in any way, shape, or form. So James decides to follow security guard Atter, and as both of them are going out the door, they are joined by 2 more security guards. One of them is security guard Garcia, who she appears to be quite capable. She has also white guard pajamas, or Unitarian, work gear. And, security guard Pat. But security guard Pat isn't in white, but he is carrying a weapon. He is in a black outfit. So, Pat, P-A-T-T-E. I'm going to take a screenshot of that just for shits and giggles. So James is being escorted by 3 what appear to be security guards, 2 in white overalls and 1 in a pair of black overalls. There is a long walk through the central corridors. They get on a transport, what amounts to local transport. This is not a small facility. There's just not a lot of people here, so there's no waiting for, transports or anything like that. But it takes about 20 minutes to go down into what appears to be the bowels of the station. There's nobody down there. One of the guards doesn't go with because James hasn't put up any resistance at this point. It's about this time, he hears a little bleep bleep on his pad, and Slick is on the call, and she's like, hey boss, where are you? And James says, I'm being escorted by security somewhere, and I'm on the tram right now, tram A. And Slick says, what did you do again? What did you do this time? James, while trying to keep a low profile, has gotten into some trouble in the past being a traitor. A traitor, Trader, not a traitor. James says, I don't know. I asked about the contact the boss wanted to know about, and now I'm here. Slick says, do you want me to do anything? Do you want me to let the boss know? And it's about that time the security guard, we'll say Garcia, she grabs James's pad and shuts it off. Now, James is unhappy, and I think the car has stopped moving, or the transport has stopped moving by this time, so this is something that is starting to concern James. So I think I would like to do something risky. And so the transport stops. Garcia has the pad, or has his communications device. It's, like a phone or something like that. I think James wants to do something risky and make a run for it. And so in this case, I'm going to roll edge because I'm using speed, mobility, or agility. And first we size up what's going on in the area. I don't think there's anybody here at this place that's been let go. It is an open area, very much like a subway terminal or something like that. You've got a tube where the transportation goes. It actually runs up the spine of the central pillar. There's boxes everywhere, but it's definitely storage. It's not been actively used, which is another thing that's causing James to have some issues. So I think what I'm going to do is attempt something risky or react to an imminent threat. So something's definitely not right here. James feels definitely somewhat threatened. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for that. So, okay, let me see. All right. Okay, so that's nice. Well, no, it's not all that nice. I got, let me see, speed. So edge. So I've got to go look at my edge. Hopefully my edge is big. No, my edge is 1. Okay, so I have a weak hit. All right, so I have a weak hit. I succeed, but not without a cost. So I make a suffer move, -1. Yeah, I could have added my +1 to that. I mean, okay, let's add the the +1 from the previous roll. That didn't help much, or didn't change anything, I don't think. So yeah, if I'd have been 9, that would have been actually it's a weak hit, right? I succeed, but not without a cost. Makes separate. Okay, so I've got a weak hit. So I start walking a little faster. The guard, Garcia, she has my pad, and Atter, who is with us, the other one who left, Pat, it did not follow. So the first thing I do is I see a corner coming up ahead, and they're, I would say, about 5 feet behind me, because they're saying, hey, you need to go this direction. What I do is, as soon as I turn that corner and I know that they can't see me, I take off in a run. Or James takes off in a run. So that's going to affect my movement. So, so for move -1, all right, so we got to drop our move down. I don't have a move. Where's the move in this? Okay, so make a suffer move -1. So I take a weak hit, and I also have to roll a suffer move, which, let's see, which one are we going to do here? Suffer move. Okay, so suffer move, we're going to lose momentum, endure harm, endure stress. Companion takes a hit, sacrifice resources, or withstand damage. Well, so far they haven't done anything to harm me yet. I'm going to endure stress, I think, on this one. So it says suffer -1 spirit for minor stress, 2 for serious stress, or 3 for major stress. If your spirit is 0, lose momentum equal to any remaining stress. Okay, so I have to roll versus spirit, right? Okay, so my spirit is 5, so I still have a 5. Right, okay, so all right, so 6. Okay, so that's a 3 matching, so I've already, so it's a matching, so it was a strong hit plus, right? Okay, so shake it off. I'm not shaking. I take +1 spirit. Okay, I can't go any higher than that. Embrace the darkness, take +1 momentum. I'm going to go ahead and take +1 momentum, so I'm up to 7 momentum. And I take off running down the hallways are lit. They're all lit up, you know, with typical lighting. And so the guards are completely taken unaware of what's going on here, and I'm somewhat freaking out because I've been here, several times before and have never had any kind of reception like this. I'm continuing running. I'd like to lose these guys by hiding or by doing something. So I need to. You are in control and can take action in a fight to reinforce your position or move towards an objective. React under fire. You are in a bad spot and take action in a fight to avoid a danger or overcome an obstacle. In pursuit, fleeing, dodging, getting back into position or taking cover, roll versus edge. All right, so I'm going to react under fire. I'm going to, because I'm in pursuit, I'm going to roll versus my edge. So that is +1. I'm not good at edge. So apparently I'm not that athletic. All right, so it says react under fire, succeed, or you're in control, take +1 momentum. Or a weak hit, you avoid the worst of the danger and overcome the obstacle, but not without a cost. Okay. Okay, so the suffer move I took, even though I -1, I still had plenty of, non-suffering. Plus, it was a match, so that helped out. So I'm rolling. Oh crap! Well, the dice gods giveth, and the dice gods taketh away. All right. So reacting under fire, under mist, the situation worsens. You stay in a bad spot and must pay the price. All right. So I'm going to pay the price. So what's the bad spot here? I'm running. I take 3 lefts and I find myself in a dead end. So let's go and let me see. Threshold moves? No. Pay the price. Pay the price. Where's the pay? No. Okay, so, all right, underpay the price. When you suffer the outcome of an action, choose one. Make the most obvious negative outcome happen. So there's a dead end, and it says, ask the oracle for inspiration, interpret the answer as a hardship or complication appropriate to the situation. Well, the most obvious negative outcome would be, I don't know the layout of the station. I was trying to run away from somebody or somebody's, and cinematically, I've hit a dead end. So that makes the most likely negative outcome. Now, obviously the guards probably are a bit more aware of the area, so they find me in the dead end, and Officer Adder says, no, you're coming with us, whether you like it or not. And so you see him take out a billy club or a taser. We'll use a taser. And you see Officer Garcia take out her taser. And I would say we can roll a D100. So we'll roll a D100 on the Oracle table under pay the price and see if the likely thing comes up. 44. All right. So the environment or terrain introduces a new hazard. Well, there you go. So we've got a couple of stun guns. I find that I am unable to protect myself against being stunned, and everything goes black after a momentary shock of pain. And I don't remember anything else. And wow, I watched this again, and I'm very surprised. James has definitely got himself into a spot of trouble. Some of my rolls didn't go as I'd hoped, and we're going to find out what happens next. Who are these enigmatic security people who have taken James? Why did they react so strongly to the character that the captain had him go look for? And what does that bode for the crew of the Wild Deliverance? So I hope you're excited about what happens next. I'm interested in seeing what happens next. I have ideas, but it all comes down to the throw of the dice. So take care, come back soon, and again, make sure you like and subscribe and hit up the notifications so that you can find out when episode 7 drops. And we'll talk to you again very soon on The Peerless Gamer. I'm Brian. Have a great day. Take care.